My brother called me selfish for refusing our father's $2 million inheritance, so I showed him the envelope that made him go completely silent. Dad died on a Sunday. Lung cancer. 4 months after diagnosis. Barely enough time to say goodbye. The reading of the will happened the following Monday in Attorney Richardson's office that smelled like old books and furniture polish. My brother Mark and I sat across from each other for the first time in 2 years. We'd grown apart after I dropped out of Dad's accounting firm to become a public school teacher. Mark stayed, became a partner, drove the Mercedes Dad always wanted him to have. Richardson read the will. To my sons, I leave my estate valued at approximately $4.2 million, to be divided equally. $2.1 million each. Life-changing money. Mark was already calculating. I could see it in his eyes. Investment properties. Maybe that lake house he'd been eyeing. But then Richardson slid an additional envelope across the desk to me. Your father left specific instructions that only you receive this, Dominic. I opened it that night in my tiny apartment. The one Mark called that shoebox in the bad neighborhood. Inside was a letter in Dad's shaky handwriting from his final weeks. Dominic, by now you know about the money. I need you to understand something I never told anyone. When you left the firm 5 years ago, I was furious. I thought you were throwing away everything I built for you. But last month, I ran into the principal from your school at the hospital. He wouldn't stop talking about you, about how you stayed 3 hours after school every day tutoring kids who were failing, how you spent your own money on supplies, how you convinced Tommy Richardson, yes, the attorney's son, not to drop out, and now he's heading to college. Dominic, you're doing something I never did. You're changing lives. The firm made money. You make meaning. The inheritance comes with a choice, and only you can make it. You can take your $2.1 million and build the life you want, or you can refuse it, and I've arranged for your portion to fund a scholarship foundation, supporting underprivileged kids who want to become teachers. Mark gets his inheritance regardless. This choice is yours alone. I'm not guilting you. I'm giving you permission to choose what matters most. I'm proud of you, son. I always was, even when I couldn't say it. Love, Dad. I didn't sleep that night. $2.1 million would change everything. No more eating ramen 4 nights a week. No more wondering if my car would start. I could buy a house, travel, maybe even start a family without the constant anxiety about money. But I kept thinking about Jose, about Maria, about Carlos, who came to class hungry, about Jason and Tyrell, who had more potential than resources. Mark called the next morning. Richardson says you're refusing the money? Have you lost your mind? That's our father's legacy. It is Dad's legacy, I said quietly. Just not the one you think. He showed up at my apartment within an hour, furious. This is ridiculous, Dominic. You're being selfish, making some grand gesture to prove you're morally superior to me. That's when I handed him the letter. I watched his face change as he read. Anger shifted to confusion, then something that looked almost like pain. When he finished, he sat down hard on my worn-down couch, the letter trembling in his hands. He never told me he was proud, Mark whispered. Not once. Not when I became partner, bought the house, had the kids. I did everything right, and he never said it. The silence stretched between us like a canyon. Finally, Mark looked up, his eyes red. He was proud of you. You got the thing I've been chasing my whole life. Mark didn't just attend the ceremony, he donated $500,000 of his own inheritance to it. We meet for lunch now, every other Tuesday. He tells me about his kids, his work. I tell him about my students. We're slowly rebuilding something we didn't know we'd lost.